morning, everybody. So in today's video, we are going to make tomato paste with the last of my tomatoes. I'm going to be using a recipe out of my Ball canning book here. Actually, Bernadine canning book. I thought it was Ball, but it's not. The recipe is on page, let me look here. Just one sec. The recipe is on page 357 if you want to follow along. I started roasting down some of the last of my tomatoes here overnight. So the next scenes here, you're going to see me chopping up the tomatoes last night to put them into the roaster. So let's get started. So here all I'm doing is chopping up my tomatoes. I had pre-washed these already and just putting them into the roaster to roast overnight and cook them down. I could have done it in a pot, but I like the overnight roasted flavor of the tomatoes when I do this overnight. I'm so happy with the amount of tomatoes that I managed to grow. I grew probably about 120 pounds of tomatoes between the Romas, the cherry, and the early girl tomatoes, and a couple of the beefsteaks. I'm pretty happy with that amount. I recently discovered that when using your electric roaster, you're supposed to put water in between the roasting pan and the insert. I had no idea, but I have been doing that ever since I found that out. Apparently, it can wreck your roaster if you don't put water in between, and it helps it not stick to the sides so much. So the tomatoes I just cut up made almost an entire roaster full. So I'm going to let these cook down overnight, and then when I come back, we're going to make the tomato paste. So the tomatoes are all nice and roasted down. This is the exact same process that I did for my tomato sauce and yeah, basically tomato sauce. So I am just going to ladle in all these tomatoes, put it through the food mill, and we're going to separate all the seeds and the skins and the cores and all that sort of stuff just to leave the sauce. And then once we're done that, we're going to add some ingredients, and then we're going to cook this down even longer to make it into a paste. So I just want to get a whole bunch of these in here to start it off. I really like roasting the tomatoes first. I could have just cooked these down in a pot, but I like the flavor of it being roasted down overnight. It gives the tomatoes a really, really nice flavor. So I'm just going to fill my little basket here. Let me just get a towel here. I'm dripping. Okay, let's do that amount. So I won't show you as much of this process since you've seen me do this in other videos, but this machine is so handy. Oh, my thing is a little loose. There we go. I've also let the tomatoes cool just so that when it's splashing, because it does splash a little bit, I'm not getting hot liquid all over me. So these are the last of my tomatoes for the year. Pretty excited about it. I got quite a bit more than I expected. I would say overall, I got probably close to 120 pounds of tomatoes off of my 30 plants. And then, as you know, when I made the salsa, I actually purchased some tomatoes as well. I purchased about 20 pounds. Oh. I don't have the clamp on it. I'm just using the suction, so the suction keeps coming undone, but I can fix that if it keeps happening. So I am going to put the peels through twice. If you looked at my tomato soup video when I did this, when I put the tomatoes through the food mill in that video, off camera I actually did put the peels and everything through twice. I just didn't show that in the video. So thank you for the suggestion to one of you that commented on my videos. I did put it through on that video, not on my pasta video though, my pasta sauce video. I hadn't thought about it until I did the tomato soup. But it's actually, if you put the peels and the seeds through this again at the end, there's actually quite a bit that comes out of it. It was a little surprising on how much extra actually comes out. So I do recommend putting your peels and your seeds and everything through the food mill twice. So I'm not going to show you this entire process because you've seen me do it in a few other videos recently. So if you want to see me do, came loose again. If you want to see me do it more in depth, you could watch my making homemade tomato soup video or my pasta sauce video. So I'm going to do the remaining of this off camera so you don't have to watch me do the same process over and over. And then I'm going to show you how much we got when I put it back in the roaster, and we're going to let it roast in the oven until it gets a really nice thick paste. And then we're going to can it into small little canning jars that I got for this. So as soon as I'm done, I'll show you how much we got. So I rinsed out the seeds and stuff. I didn't completely wash it because it's just the tomatoes. So this is how much sauce we got. This is going to cook down significantly. Okay, now we need to add a few things to this. So we're going to add, according to our recipe here, I'm going to leave the garlic out because I usually I want to be able to use this in a lot of different applications. So I'm going to leave the garlic out, but you can add it if you want. It says 1 clove. So we're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use kosher salt because I'm going to can this. Then it says 2 bay leaves. These are going to be pulled out before we can it. There we go. And you can either use citric acid, 1 teaspoon, or 4 tablespoons of lemon juice, which is what I'm going to do. 4.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. This enables it to be water bath canned. And you want to put this in before it turns into a paste. There we go, 4.5. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a little mix. And now I'm going to let this boil down into a paste in my roaster at 425 as long as it takes. I'm hoping only a couple hours, but we'll see. I'll let you know how long it took. I'll give you some progress updates in the middle as well. Just wanted to give an update. This has reduced by at least half. It's been a couple hours, so I think this is going to take a little bit longer to cook down than I anticipated. So The next time you see this, it'll be a paste. Okay guys, so it's after dinner time. It is 7:13. So I ended up putting the insert for the roaster into the oven on the broil setting to evaporate some of the liquid faster. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. And this is what we're left with. I think this is perfect texture for what I want. So now let's start putting this into some canning jars. So I'm going to do them in these little ones here. Let me pull one out and show you. I have them in the oven heating up so they don't break because this is quite hot. So we're going to can them in these. Just need to get a little scoop. So I have 12 of these little jars in the oven here, so we'll see how many of them we make. It's really thick. I'm actually quite excited about this. I think this is going to be great. And it was all my homegrown tomatoes. That's even better. I'm trying to be careful. This is still quite hot. Let's see here. I think I'm going to use, oh, that's work, a spoon. I was going to use this, but I think because it's paste, I think I'm just going to push it down so all the air comes out. Make sure I get all the air bubbles out. And it said I need to leave about 1/2 inch headspace. I think that's good. Yep, pushing it down worked better than using a chopstick just because it's a paste. I have everything already prepared, the lids and all that. When it was done, I took the bay leaves out. Very hot. Cute little jar of tomato paste. I like the satisfaction of growing my own tomatoes and then making products with them. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. And this is slow roasted as well, so the flavor is going to be amazing. Normally I would take the pot with the lids in it and put it next to me, but I have both my silicone mats under the roaster here. I didn't want it to burn the counter. Oh, just one sec. I just realized I didn't wipe it. Got ahead of myself, so I'm going to put this lid back in and get a new one. Just in case there was something on it. It's late. It's been a long day. So when I can these in the water bath canner, it says 45 minutes. Normally, for my area, tomatoes, most tomato, what am I doing? See? I'm tired. Most tomato products in my area are between 25 and 35 minutes. But because this is a paste, I think it needs time for the heat to penetrate in the middle of the paste in order to be canning safe. So I think that's the reason for the excessive time, which I'm okay with. Just making sure I'm getting all the air bubbles here. There's a few. There we go. I can't wait to use these in my cooking. Really excited about it. So I'll do this last one here, and then I'll fill the rest of them off camera, and then I'll show you how many we got. Ooh, that's hot. There's water and vinegar on my cloth here, so I can wipe the edges. As I've mentioned in other videos, you do not have to heat your lids. It's just my preference. It's what I prefer. I find my jars seal better. There we go. Okay, so I will finish bottling up the rest off of camera, and I'll show you what we got when I'm done. Okay, so all together, I had to go get a couple more jars. All together, it's a nice dark, deep color. We got 14 little, I don't even think these are called half pints. I think these are half of a half pint. But it's the perfect serving for what I would need it for. Now I'm going to water bath can these for 45 minutes. So check your elevation for where you live to see what your canning times are, but it's probably 45 minutes. So guys, this is where I'm going to end the video tonight. It's quite late, and I'll see you next time. Bye.